is Thursday, August 27th, approximately 5:30 p.m. We're starting off in Silver Spring on the corner of Colesville and Wayne. Today we're going to walk to Denizens Brewery, which is probably about a mile away, and I'm going to go a different route so you can see a couple of different streets. A bit windy today. Now we're under the metro. Take this little shortcut here. We just passed a restaurant called TS Grill. Have not been there yet. Across the street we have Pete's Coffee. There's a couple of pizza places, or at least one, and a taco place, and a giant supermarket. The taco place is called District Taco, and there's a CVS pharmacy as well. I go to Pete's Coffee once in a while to edit or study, or just to get a coffee. I don't walk this way normally. I mean, when I go to Denizens Brewery, I do, but I don't go there very often. But it is a nice walk. Wide sidewalks, clean. The sidewalks are not too busy. This is NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. On the left, I've got at least one friend that works there. So in my last video, there was a lot of blur, and I really hope it was just a smudge on my lens. We'll find out, because I cleaned it off as best I could, and I actually changed the ISO settings to max out at 800. So I'm hoping that the light wasn't the problem. I don't think it was the light, because it looked like just a random blur. I worked on trying to get me to map this with an overlay. Not very long. I spent maybe 2 hours on it, and I kind of come up with a few ideas, but nothing that was worth pursuing. I honestly think that having that live map while you're walking is difficult. I can get a map that, you know, after you're done with your walk or your run or your trail, you can look at the whole map in one view. But I really wanted to have me kind of like that little blue dot on Google Maps roam around, and you can see the names of the streets and things like that. I'm sure I'll get better at this. Again, this is day 2, August 27th now, 2020. I was just gonna throw away my footage from yesterday, but I decided there's thousands of streets to walk, and if the first 2 don't come out that good, or the first 10, I've got plenty more to go. This is my 3rd semi-legit attempt at YouTube. I have a channel that teaches R programming. That's all it is, and that one's almost monetized. I've got the 1,000 subscribers. Probably by the end of this week I'll have 1,000. I don't quite have the watch time necessary to monetize it. And then I have another channel that's been monetized for a long time, and I never put any effort into it, like 0. And I consistently, just on YouTube, make about $50 to $55 a month, and I almost put no effort into that channel. It's a little bit of a mixture of tech, how to film yourself, / reviews, / everything. So it's really a random channel. And even though it was the one that made me started making money on YouTube, I know the formula is to have a niche and you stick to it. And I sort of proved that with my R channel, where I only put R on there, and I'm not even that consistent. I've wanted to post, you know, twice a week or something. I post super randomly, sometimes once a month, sometimes once every 2 months. sometimes twice a week. But I do think it will be monetized soon enough. I have to get a little more comfortable talking, getting in the mood to talk on the computer when you have a roommate. I'm not used to that, kind of. So yeah, I'm not that motivated when somebody else is home in the house. And that's why I decided to try this. I think this is a neat idea. For anybody trying to move to Silver Spring or to DC, I'm going to map DC too. So it's going to be mostly the DC metro area. And what I want to do is, again, make it easy for people to really truly get a feel for what it's like. Lots of people move into this area, you know, for jobs, and they never even get to see it. So now you kind of get to get a first-person view, you know what I mean? And here's Denizens. It's nice. I'm not gonna go in yet until I take this camera off. I'm gonna keep going just up to the corner, and then we'll call that a little walk. I still have to walk home, so I get a little extra. Up here in this corner you have Montgomery College. There's plenty of restaurants around that as well. Hertz rental car, and then if I take this left here, we'll be back on Georgia. And if we just go about a quarter of a mile to a half mile, we will be back on the other side of Georgia Avenue where the restaurants are. I'll peek around the corner, then I'll shut this off. And there we go. Matter of fact, I might just keep going. It looks like, according to my app, I've done only about a half a mile, and I've only been recording for, well, I don't think it's working because it says 12 minutes and 26 seconds and it doesn't move. Interesting. I'm just gonna make it all the way to Astrolab then. I'm sure my audio isn't gonna be that great because it was so windy and there's a lot of cars. But I was actually very surprised that the audio was pretty good yesterday when I did this. I was happy with it, not extremely happy, but much better than I thought it was going to be. I still feel weird wearing this camera. With my AirPods in, with my backpack on. Hopefully everything's still running. I can't even tell. I'm afraid to do anything or it's gonna shut off. Good looking dog ahead of us, huh? And Silver Spring is pretty good about the social distancing and the wearing of the masks, but it's definitely not as good as it was 2 or 3 months ago. Bars are open, restaurants are open, so let's just hope for the best. I do go to the Astrolab bar quite frequently. For one, they're open on every day but Monday, I believe, and they have really good internet for a bar or a brewery. So I just get my own table, and I'll probably try to mess with editing this when I get there, have a couple of beers, go find dinner, and try it all again. I'll try to narrate what I know when I know it. I'm debating looking things up and then doing like a voiceover to narrate some more, but honestly I like that natural feel of doing it on the fly better. We passed the actual fire station, and then on the right is a restaurant bar called Fire Station. And then there's a lot of Ethiopian restaurants around here, and there's Caldi's coffee shop, which is good too, but no indoor seating during COVID. So Caldi's is just down this street on Georgia and Silver Spring Ave. And up ahead is Astrolab, and that's where I'm going to park.